Right guys, got more good news. Let's turn welder off. You can hear that one, can't you? Another day has gone by and it's looking so bad, boy. I've got all bits done. Apart from brackets, springs, all the joining bits. I've not done the joining bits yet, but it's ready. It's ready to start just tacking it together, welding her up. The struggle is now, what order do I do it in? Because it's going to pull itself about in places. If I spin camera around, I'll show you it. But yeah, this front pipe is done. The collar at the top, done. That's sweet. The dip down onto the other side, done. Scallops on the bottom, done. Tailpipe trimmed, stretched, in place, done. What am I waiting on? I thought it was going to come today, but it were a windscreen wiper for Ashley. Bit of 40mm, I've got on order. I've got a meter's worth of 40mm tube. I think I said yesterday, all mine's 41, just because it's imperial size. I need some metric size. So I get 40mm tube, a metre of it, just to cut some tiny collars off to go inside the silencers. That bit's a little bit of a struggle. That's the last little bit I've got to struggle with. I've also got to do some burning holes in pipes. So yes, spin it round, let's have a look, let's get some focus on this. That lovely coming round here. I spoke to a customer, he says I'm okay to put a little bit of a dint in there. You know, dints on backside, no one's bothered about them. Because you can't see them, can you? I'm not that bad at doing them neither, so just where that's running down there, just try and put a bit of a dint on the back of that, just to give it just a little bit more clearance. I don't know if it's touching at the moment, it's hard to tell. I don't think it is, it might be a smidgens there, but smidgens probably ain't good enough. That's coming over. This bit here, I just had that collar on there to join the two together so I could get it all lined up. But now I've cut some off that side and welded a straight bit on. You know, so that collar now slips onto a straight bit of pipe instead of it going round a bend. So it's ready to tack onto there. I could get me TIG brazing, tacking stuff out, and I could tack that on a few times. That could come off. Then that's ready to slip onto that. I think on the other pipes they were done the other way around. So I've got this sample set I had to copy off that were made by the other Ben, as they call him, Ben Sargent. He was like, he probably was, yeah, he was the best classic pipe maker in England, but he's gone back working at BA in aerospace industry. So he's no longer making pipes, so the guys come to me, and I think, well, I know so that mine are better than that now, so the other Ben doesn't exist, so maybe I'm the best Ben now. I'm the best Ben. While we're still here, this bracket, I've just turned it round so it's out of the way. It was there. I think to take that other set of stainless pipes, that bracket was there, so this reversed, but it won't go on mine. I've just got it all too tight. So I said to the customer, really, that wants to be somewhere in the middle. If it's there at the back, it's too far away. That's a big gap, that, you know, to run a bracket across. So it wants to be about here. And he sent me a picture last night that when he were making these brackets up, he did actually make one that had the all there. So I'll probably get him to drive over with it, I think. He's only in Preston, so he's near where Ben Sargent's were. He could probably post it to me, but he might as well come over and I'll just have a quick look at this before I start welding it all, I think. I'll send him a message tonight and get him to drive over, I think. So then where are we? We're coming over there then. There's a little tiny bit of an issue, but it's not an issue because I can sort it out with an hammer. That pipe touches that case in there, or it doesn't touch it. I think there's the tiniest bit of daylight. There is the tiniest bit of daylight, but I can see it, you can't. I'm trying to look through pegs and everything, and you don't know what I'm looking at. But yeah, where it's there somewhere, where that's touching case in there, it's not. There's a tiny little bit of daylight in it, but obviously when this is vibrating, that could tap away. So I'll probably just put a little dint underneath that one to clear that. And then as we're coming down, other pipe, I've stretched that one out. That's in that spigot, lovely, trimmed up, lovely. Coming down, both nice and in line. You see him just running down there, and in the backs of that somewhere, same thing, there's not enough light down there, is there? The scallops in, let's see if I can get them round that side. we could do with a torch, couldn't we? They're scallops into that pipe. You can't. It could do. Yeah, could do with an inspection lamp down there. Other one is you'd be able to see this. Look at that gap through there. Wait till that light just kisses. It's like nearly touching the casing, innit? Basically, that there as well. That's a rib. So you see this on bottom of engine casing, on bottom of sump there. That rib runs all the way up and round that casing. So to gain a bit there, because that's obviously when I can see that light again coming through the back there. You see that? That's nearly touching. So what I'll do with that, I think I'll put a dint in that, put a little dint in there, and then it's not touching that rib. It's basically the ribs that's touching it, or nearly touching it. Well, yeah, I can't get that to show you again. It's faint. It's there in it roughly. It's not touching that, but it still looks like it's touching. Yeah, if I put a dint in it there, that'll clear that rib. Then, what's my next problem there? But yeah, they're scalloped in, so that pipe can't really move from here because they're scalloped in nicely. Unless I just grind a bit more out of each one, I can probably pull that pipe that way. But then it's touching the silencers there. And what I need to do is weld a 40mm, that 40mm bit of tube. I need to put it inside there, I think, and tack it onto the ends of these. I've ground them so they're perfect with them, so I could actually just take this pipe off and weld the 40mm collars on the end of it. But they won't go in, will they? Because there'd be a weld here. Where that joins from the black to the shiny, there'd be a weld there, and that'd stop it from going in. So basically I need to trim 5mm off there, or 6mm off there, then weld it on. If I trim it off now, I've not got my alignment for that, so I think I need to mark off. But then it'd pull it. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's all super tight, innit? We like them super tight. I think we'll leave it where it is with that tiny gap at the back of there. Mark off these where them scallops are onto this tailpipe. Pull this tailpipe off, this U-pipe. Burn the holes in it. Then I can put it back on. Polish the ends of this up. Polish the bit where I need to weld it. Put it back on, and then I can tack that with MIG welder. You know, like come down here, tack it in place. Then take it all off and trim the 6mm off these. Put the 40mm bits into there. Pull them out. Tack it. Take it off. Weld round it. Put a little bevel on. Mainly these are 41, and that's probably 42, and then the piece that's going to go inside it's 40. Size, yeah, it's all very tight again. That if we go around the other side, I don't know, we're zoomed in, we're zoomed all the way out, aren't we? That one there, like I say, that's the other bit of it where it's joining into the silencer. It's too dark over here. I'm missing some light bulbs. That light bulb and that light bulb. They've just been out, and I'm just too busy to go upstairs and get 2 light bulbs. That and the super rare, they're 8 foot long light bulbs, and you can't buy them anywhere. So I'm just coping with a bit of darkness. I can see it perfectly well with my eyes. It's just, yeah, on video it's not very good. So there's a little bit of a gap in that, so I still need to wiggle it. But when I'm wiggling it, it's all trying to fall out of the headers up here and stuff like that. These blocks of wood that are in there are just holding them. See the gap there between the silencer and the shocker? It's holding that apart so that when I weld these collars on, hopefully it'll spring that end and the other end of the silencers apart and hold that apart from that. Because when you take them off, obviously the silencers are heavy. They're just hung on with these 2 bits of aluminium. They're trying to swing the way in. I take them out, they touch onto them springs, so I just want to pull it out and then space it with that U-pipe. Hopefully that'll hold it all in place. So yeah, I've got that wooden packer in, another wooden packer in on the other side. And it's all just getting to that point now of which way do I do this? What order? And I say all them bits are done. We've got the little rubber mounts down here. Customers supplied. They're really nice, aren't they? Basically put a bolt. I think there's an engine mount there or something, yeah, that'll be used on a different frame. So there's a tapped hole. He's put a tap bolt in there, a bolt that fits into the hole for the engine mount, which is tapped down the centre, which then takes this little tiny bolt in the middle, which then puts these little rubber mounts on. which are nice. And then we need to build a bracket off here round onto that, same on the other side, and then one onto that one, which I can show you on these ones. Oh, they've even got the rubber mounts on. So I'm saying this is Ben Sargent's. That in itself just weighs on high, 8 stainless pipes, just because they're big, numb and heavy. So yeah, we need a bracket like that, and that's the little rubber mount behind, which I'll show you on the back side. That's the little rubber mount behind it. I need to fabricate some of them. I say fabricate, I've already had them laser cut. I just need to bend them, trim them, shape them to the pipe. Then we need to do some spring hooks, like he's done the spring hooks there. That one on the left to fasten that one into the head. That one on the right is to fasten that pipe that's coming over the casings. And then he's also, to pull this apart, the one that comes out the head, that one on the left, he spliced that one into the bottom piece there. So I need to do that as well. But yeah, we need to also suss out them cuts on the bottom, them scallops. It's handy that I've got this with me. We won't be using them spring mounts on the silencers, the ones that are far left, far right. And I don't think we're putting a laminar sensor in it. He said not to bother, I think. But there'd be space. If he wants me to put a laminar sensor in, I can do. Where's my brackets at? So these are my brackets. I've had them laser cut, like I say. I've got that. That one's going to go off there. Obviously, you've got the angle of the pipe. Bad focus. It says it's auto focusing, it does not know what it's doing. Yes, that's got the angle on there. Obviously it needs a fold up in it then, doesn't it? That, I think you'd weld that to the bottom side of that pipe, fold it up. On the other one, the pipe's a lot higher, so that mounts there. The pipe's a lot higher, I think, and he's done it off the bottom and bent it down. But I've snugged mine, and it's super snug. Be interesting to throw that other set on and just see what it looks like. The spring hooks that I was saying for silencers, we're not doing them because Ben Sargent made a set of silencers for that system. Whereas this, we're running these flipping original Turnomis, which I full on agree with. Just nice, aren't they? Makes it look proper Ducati. That's got clamps on there. You know them big ugly clamps. Don't like them, but it's going to look right in it because one, it's just look like a standard system. So you're going to run that down there. I've got some other brackets. These are supposed to be like gussets to hold that in place when they bent it down. Now it bends up, so I don't know if I'm going to use them. I'll have to make some other ones. And then I have got some other brackets. Oh, them ones there, fold it down like a line down there to make that into a triangle. Are supposed to go on there, something like that. Now I don't know which way around again because I've done the same thing and I've done mine a lot tighter than what Ben Sargent's done, so I think he might have had. Let's have a look at that. Oh, he's done them up. The rubber's going towards the back. So yeah, the rubber's going the same way there, but he's folded that. Oh, he's done them like that, hasn't he? I think something like that. Oh, that pipe's a lot lower. I think that pipe's lower down there. Then he's put that as a triangle bracket upwards, like that, and then folded that round the back. Yeah, closer to the sump. Yeah, no, he's done it that way around. He's done it like that, yeah, and then folded that round that way. But yeah, like I say, it's all. I copied them off his, thinking, oh, there'll be something similar. But because I've done such a good job. Well, yeah, Ben. Yeah, I've done such a good job. It's totally different. I thought brackets are going to be a bit of a nightmare. What else? I think we've got some other nice bits in the box. Give me everything. We've got that heat shield. Heat shield now fits like a glove, you know. I've tried that on Ben Sargent's pipe, and Ben Sargent's had or finished with the same problem as I had, where it didn't follow the pipe because he's used one big rolled bend, one continuous radius. Whereas that's obviously not one continuous radius, it's a straight tight bend and then a straight again. I don't know if you can see that. I might have to turn the camera around and have another look at it, but that fits like a glove. Yeah, it's sweet. And then we're going to try and hide the spring behind that frame, behind back of there. The springs, I think that's the last thing we've got in the box. Got everything out of the box. Basically, he's bought bits online. Look at these, like in little Ducati bags and stuff. They could have been some of them rubber mounts that we were using before. They have like little Ducati screws, I think. Oh, these, I think they're like Equipe springs, you know, with the rubbers on. Fancy nice ones. Now, I've got my own springs, I've got some race springs, which they're probably mine. Yeah, them long ones are mine, I think I've thrown them in the bag when we were talking. So I've got these, I've got a load like that. They're not actually mine, I don't think. But then he's supplied them. And they're not Equipe ones, they're like Equipe copies. You know, yeah, with the nice little rubbers on so they don't scratch the paint. When I've got fitted them to race bikes, sometimes that spring will wear into the metal. It does. When you pull a race bike apart that's been racing for the last 10 years or something, these have started cutting into the collars and sometimes have cut all the way through. They don't feel the best on the ends there, them. But yeah, we've got them as well. I told him to try and buy some Equipe ones, I think. I bet you can probably buy Turanomi ones with Turanomi written on there, and then they'd be even better. But they're like a tenner a pair or something, so they're quite expensive. But yeah, we're going to run that. That's going to go down back of there like that. Probably hide it a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to hide it a bit more. I'm going to hide it behind that reservoir, and that basically put the hook right on the end of that collar. Weld that collar to that pipe, put the hook right on the end of it, pull that through, you know, so it's there hidden behind that. On the back side of that, I'll be that. If you get me. Let's have a look at that compared to my springs. My springs is the one on the right, it's just a bit shinier. Just a bit nicer, a bit newer, I think. They are Mortad ones. I think they're Mortad. I bought a load of them, I bought a box full of them off Mortad. It might be like my second box load of Mortad, because Mortad don't exist anymore, and some guy I got hold of owns all stock for it, the remaining stock, which included a load of springs. So yeah, I've got access to them. Maybe 100 of them or so in a drawer, because you need them on race systems, don't you? So I just need them to fabricate stuff up. And then there is, but yeah, so we've got all the right bits. Let's say little Ducati rubbers, and I thought they were Ducati springs, but they're close. They're close enough. They're nice enough. That's it. So yeah, pretty much everything's out of that box. Yeah, everything is out of that box. So we're nearly good to go. We've used everything up. Just need to get it all on and done. Right, that's a longer video than I was expecting it to be. That was just going to be a 10-minute. I've finished my day. I'm just going to tinker with it for another half an hour and then I'm going home. So tomorrow we'll see. I think when I get them pipes out to burn a hole in it, everybody likes seeing someone burning a hole in it, because I just do it with gas torch. People kicked off last time I did it because I didn't get a plasma torch out, which I don't own. So just get gas torch out, blow a hole in it, get die grinder out, clean it up. We'll get that on video tomorrow. I'll pull them off. We'll burn some holes in them. Try and start tacking some bits together. Hopefully that 40mm will be here as well, so then we can actually get that into a full system. I can pull props out from underneath, that's always the dream. The dream is when you can pull that out, and it all just sits there on its own. Then we can just wang some spring hooks on, wang some brackets on, job done. Drop it down off the ramp, and then that is paddy on. We can get it under blackboard. The blackboard doesn't exist anymore, blackboard's here. Old blackboard spot, probably won't take a picture of it over there, but we can get it out, and maybe I'll move my Ducati from over there. Right guys, updates, welcome back to the shop. Ducati's still on the bench. You were expecting that, weren't you, because this is going to be part of the Ducati series. What have I got to say about the Ducati? The customer's been, and he is well happy. He comes to drop off the bracket we were talking about in the last video. So I had a day off, I think. I've had a day or two off it. Just while he come over with that bracket, I prepped a load of other stuff ready for next jobs. And also just been fiddling with it. Every hour or two before I go home, just trim them pipes down, take one off, fit it, make sure that'll go in there, fiddle with it, just put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. Just checking it all, getting it all a little bit tighter. I don't dare go any tighter now. I think we're there. I think we're there. I think we're at the burning the oil stage. So it's time to whip it all back off again. We'll have a quick look at it first. Whip it all off, burn them holes in, put it all back together again, tack them tailpipes in place, take it back off again, braze round it. I'm going to put some dints in as well, I think. Put some dints in while I've got it all off. I've just marked some of them on. So we'll go and have a look at it. It looks, every time I put this camera on, this looks better. I think I'm getting a spot on my nose because yesterday I was mucky, and then it is like it's as hot as hell outside, so it's nice in here. But yeah, it was hot, it was sweaty yesterday. So that's how she's looking. Let's get a bit of focus on. Customer is rightly so, he's absolutely buzzing about it, and he says the one thing he likes about it is that it's the same as that. You know, you just got that there. Can't see much else of it, can you really? Just that. I've just noticed another thing that looks really nice is the angle of this megaphone in focus is the same. You see that there, the cut on that mudguard. Just nice, isn't it? The cut on the mudguard there, which is lovely, just fits that nice. It's a bit hard to see again there. You see that cut on that mudguard? If I come round here, just disappears. It's just like, whoa. Cut on the mudguard, megaphone. He said he wanted them roughly, you know, just popping out just above the tyre. Spot on that, absolutely spot on. Can't wait to see what his seat looks like and the rest of it looks like, because he showed me some of his other bikes and they're immaculate. So we've got this in. This is nice and tight down here. We might as well work our way backwards. I've had some 40mm dropped off because I don't have any of that. Mine's all 41, and I've made some little collars for this, so you'll see a little bit of a gap there. I've pulled them about, tweaked them so these are in the perfect place. So now I also have a nice gap there between the shockers, which before I didn't have that nice gap. So they're on. The tailpipes, them little bird's mouth beaks, you can just see a little bit of daylight coming through down there. Whoa, focus is bad. Focus is still bad. Focus is still bad. But yeah, down there in the bottom there, can you see that little bit of daylight? They are like that underneath there. Looks sweet, joining into that pipe, lovely. So that's the bit I need to do. I need to mark round them with my white paint pen, take them off, burn some holes in it, but apart from that everything's done. So I've got a collar on there, I've tacked it on. I could probably put another tack on that, but what I'm going to do first is weld them on the bottom there, because they might move about a little bit, and then I've got a little bit of adjustment on this. Same with, you see down the back of there, it's a bit hard to see. They've been too much. The customer said, how are you getting on with this, Ben? And I was like, it's just hard to see down back of there to make sure everything's in line and stuff. There's a little collar down there that joins that pipe into the bottom pipe. I've put that so it's just sat hidden behind that swing arm, so you can't see it when you're down here. Zoom in, zoom out. So the pipe's coming up from there, the collar's here basically. You can see it there, sat back there, can't you? That's in line with swing arm on the other side, so it's just tucked away. That's because I've got to put some springs on there as well, so we want them tucked away. They just want to hide them in that gap where swing arm is. That comes up, goes into head there. That wants a couple of springs doing on it. We'll do that afterwards. That's the last job, that is to take it all back off again, drill some holes in these. Want to suss out where I want to put the springs and then put the spring mounts on. Same with this. That wants a little hook on the end of there and a spring. Basically, I'm going to put the spring like there behind that so it hides it again. This is the new triangle bracket that he's brought me. Old one. Fitted like that, and it's just too close to pipe over there. This one's actually, I think it's nicer. We thought about doing that with it, which looks nice. It follows the line of the pipe a bit better, but it's just too far away from the pipe. You'd have a big long bracket across there. So we've opted for this one that he's made up in the past, and that just leaves a nice little short bracket. And the other good thing about that is, as you see the distance across there, it's only small. This just drops nicely in between, so that all fits up all nice and snug as a bug. That's going to go on there. At the moment that's on with magnets, but yeah, I need to weld a nut there and nut there, braze them on. Then we're having a bit of tricky problems here. I think that's a crank sensor, I think. Crank sensor or an oil sensor or something along them lines. That touches the pipe on the back. It's annoying. It's annoying. Just touches there. You see where these wires are coming through? They're just touching the back of the pipe there. If you push them in, they don't touch, but there's no guarantee that they're going to stay pushed in, is there? Probably do a bit of better routing on them maybe, and that might help. But my plan is, you might be able to see them. It's all a bit flipping too close, all this video in it. But yeah, put a white mark there, and a white mark there. And then put some white marks underneath to show where it is. See, there's another bit there. Put some paint pen roughly to mark where that is. And then I'm going to, when I take all this apart in a minute, take that off, put a dint in the back of there. Customers totally agree with you. Won't be able to see it, will you? Because it'd be there on the back side of that. Not much else to do. Drill that, put some springs down to that, drill that springs down to there. 2 nuts on for the heat shield. Sort this bracket out. That bracket's just a rough one, so I need to bend another one for that. Braze round that once I get to the end again. Spring hook on, spring across. Burn these 2 holes out now. Braze round them. Weld them collars up. Work my way back again. That's what takes up all the time on these jobs, is going from there to there to there to there to there to there. I must have done it about 8 times. I've been backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. I need to take it all off again. Basically work my way back from the back to the front again. I've been from the front to the back yesterday, and I'm going to go all the way back to the here again, and then go all the way back to there. Then another 2 goes and I'll have it done. I think another 2 on and offs should all be done. So I might set you. I'm going to have a swig of my brew, and then I might set you up there. We'll see what it looks like pulling it apart. Draw around that with a pen. I'll put you on one of them, like a bit of speeded up version. Right, I'll have a bit of a brew and I'll come back.